short statements. Dr. Wortham has credentials in a doctorate in educational leadership from Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a master's degree in reading from Oregon State University in Baltimore, and a bachelor's degree in elementary education from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, Wisconsin. She is a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, Links Incorporated, Women's Giving Circle, the Junior Achievement Board, and the Susan Burns Health Education Board, and most importantly of all, she is a member of the Rotary Club of York, the 35th largest Rotary Club in the world. And with that, her credentials are well established, and I will simply say, just as an introduction to Dr. Wortham, is that I admire people who take on challenges and treat them as opportunities. And with that, I give you Dr. Wortham from the School District of the City of York.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. Truly, I thank you, John, for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. You know, the hardest thing about speaking at Rotary is that you have to have a joke. I really don't have a joke. So that was funny, good. John never told me the topic for this afternoon, so blame John. And I said, John, what do you want me to talk about? And he said, talk about? Talk about 10 minutes. One thing about jokes, when I find one that's funny, I laugh. I am so happy to be here this afternoon. I'm happy to have my board president, Margie Orr. Pause for applause. So I gotta go home after this, remember? Okay, gotta go back to work. I'm so happy to have everyone from the school district. Thank you so very much. Even representation, and you were really my guest from the mayor's office. Thank you so very much, Kevin. And thank you so much, Neda. Neda, thank you so very, very much and Rotarians, thank you for the $2,500 or the $2,000 to the school district of the City of York. This afternoon, we are going to be featured by actually pictures. And I'm going to tell a story. You know, that's what educators do. We tell stories. Is that okay? And because I've never been on this side, I've never been on over here. Eric, this is what you do over here. Oh, the weather is good over here. You're posting the coffee, etc. Yeah, the general's over here. So you folks over there, you are safe. You folks over here, you are in trouble. The school district of the City of York, headed by the Board of School Directors. I've already introduced our board president, Mrs. Orr. Slight demographics, we have 8 schools. No secret, we used to have 10. 4,800 students. Of those 4,800, 1,200 are students belonging to the group we call ELL, English Language Learners. 1,000 special ed students, 161 homeless families that have been identified as homeless, 4,000 free and reduced, out placements or in charter schools, 3,000 students, total students in the city, 7,905. The Commission of Education recommends that schools be restructured. Why do you think they recommend that schools be restructured? Because it just doesn't happen. Just because you come to school does not mean that the school is standing strong and moving forward. So the Commission, in all of their research, says that schools should be restructured to become genuine learning organizations. So I came to York City July 1st, 2011, and I started a walking tour. Walked neighborhoods around every school. Lost 20 pounds. Don't book, I gave it, I found it. And I was accompanied by board members, by parents, by teachers, by students. Everyone wanted to know what I wrote in my booklet. And I said I would never tell them, but I'm going to tell you this afternoon. The community and the school board wanted to know, because the question was, what can I do, Brian, to have the best school district, not in the Commonwealth, but like the 35th largest club in the world, but to be the best in the world. And the school board and community members said, be consistent in your work, change the dress code, support the district mission. Administrators said, improve student achievement. Wow, that was a concern. Expect staff accountability. Teachers said, expect all students to meet standards and so on. Then I found this document that was championed by Dr. Perkins and Genevieve Ray and other folks. Best read document. Had all of the answers right there in that document. So I was determined not to let the work of the community fall by the wayside. Literally, actually, confession, because that's what Rotarians do. We're true, right? I stole the book. I went in for my interview, and it was sitting there. It didn't have a lock and key on it, so I stole the book, and I took it away. Best read. I'm still using the contents of that information in that book. So every organization has to have a mission statement. The mission statement has to answer 3 questions. What is it we want to do? How will we know that we're doing it? And what can we do to guarantee success? With that in mind, we held community conversations to develop the mission statement, because the current mission statement in the district did not answer those 3 questions. You can't move forward in any organization, whether it's a school system, Fortune 500 company, unless your mission statement responds to those 3 questions. So, with all of that chart paper, this is what we came up with. As a professional learning community, we educate the whole child by providing an engaging and challenging learning environment to ensure each student receives a premier education. Failure is not an option, because we deliver success for all. The mission, why do we exist, leads into the vision, what do we hope to become, and then that actually becomes your practice, what you do. That's why your mission statement has to be aligned with those 3 questions. Otherwise, when times get tough, you will make decisions that are not aligned with your mission statement. The mission statement is actually the heart of the bullseye. The mission statement will get you and guide you and direct you right to the classroom. And in getting that, you have to hear the voice of the community, the voice of the district, the voice of the school and the grade level, and then you deliver in the classroom. Failure is not an option. I give Bill Hartman credit for this, because Bill Hartman came to my office and I was drawing on a whiteboard all of the things that I heard the community members talking about, the staff members talking about, the board members. I give Jay Conover credit for this, because they pushed me and said, okay, so where's the plan? Where's the plan? And I said, here's the plan. And the plan is right here in this book. And the book is called Failure is Not an Option. So it's not a buzzword, it's not a phrase. This is a platform that high-performing schools, high-performing districts use. I happen to have a chapter in this book, so I'm wedded to it, not only because I have a chapter in this book, but because it is the #1 bestseller in the country. High-performing schools use and abide by the principles of this book. Mr. Steele, am I right? So the first thing is that you have to have a common mission, vision. Did that. Moving forward, using those tenets. As you lead for success, in a school district, in an organization, you have to abide by change theory. Nobody likes change but a wet baby. That was funny. Typical change process: forming, storming, and that's the way it goes. Forming, storming. We can't game like that. So you have to change the downward trend: forming, storming, norming, performing. Is that okay? That's the direction that we are moving. Listening to the voices, aligning that with the resources and the research so that we can stop the downward trend and move forward. Educating the whole child is the way that we do that. Educating the whole child. This philosophy, people used to think that this was soft stuff. Where's the meat? But then they realized unless you align and you believe in educating all components, you're not going to see the gains. So, redefining what it means to be well educated. Everybody say it's time.
It's time.
It's time. Say it like you mean it.
It's time.
Oh, I think you mean it. Think about how much the world has changed. Technology is transforming how we learn, how we work, and how we play. How many of you had a cell phone when you were in middle school? Don't raise your hands. Our children live in a digital world and a global economy. Everybody?
It's time.
Everybody?
It's time.
Right. Our educational system must meet our kids' needs. Parents and community, First Lady, want our district to be a top priority. Parents want a well-rounded curriculum. But guess what happens? When the budget goes, guess what happens? Art, music, PE, etc., they get pushed out of the way. But if you stay true to your mission, those things will not go away. That's what we mean when we say we're educating the whole child. You heard Roth. Beautiful. Put your hands together for Roth again. I made a commitment to the music department. As superintendent, you will never have to worry about what we went through last year. Never. Did I say never? Never. Okay. We're losing too many kids. We're wasting too much talent. Fact. 1.1 million American high school students drop out every year. That's one student every 29 seconds. 6,000 students every school day. When kids are unhealthy, unsupported, bored, scared, tuned out, they cannot do their best. Everybody?
It's time.
The school district of the city of York creating a community of learners. That's what we are doing, Dana. Promoting learning, teaching, and leadership. Advocating for sound practices. And we're focusing on one question and one question alone. Is it good for kids? Richard, is it good for kids? That's what you always say. Is it good for kids? That's what our business manager says. Is it good for kids? A whole child is healthy. A whole child is safe. A whole child is engaged. And I tell staff, when you think about that word engaged, those of you who are married, reflect on when you were engaged and how you wanted to please your fiance. And you did everything right. You stayed connected. That's what engagement is all about. So when I go into a classroom, I want to see students engaged. I want to see teachers eye level. That's what I'm looking for, Fred, engagement. I'm not looking for teachers sitting, and I'm not looking for kids with their hands down. Engaged, active. Supported. A whole child is supported, challenged. Our kids need hope. They do. And our kids need you. Every person in this room, every person in this community, every person in this Commonwealth, our kids These are our kids. What are we doing today? The school district, we're taking action. We're collaborating with colleagues and with the community. What are we doing? We're working with Dave Meckley. I see our O. Put your hands together for Dave Meckley. I see our O. And Dave, I brought you a gift. And this gift, I was going to bring you the keys, but I don't have them. I don't have the keys to the contracts that need to be dealt with. I don't have the keys to the things that, those walls that need to be torn down. So the only thing I can give you is a keychain. So that's how we partner. If you want to know how we partner, I've got the keychain, he has the keys, have at it. The K-8 model, no secret. Yes, we went forward with the K-8 model. Why? For early childhood, for a commitment to academic excellence. As I walked the community, I found that the parents want to stay in the community and they want their kids to live and grow and develop in that community. Newsflash, it is working. It is working. Not only did we move students to the K-8 building, but we restructured the curriculum. The research says it's one thing to move students. It says that middle school students do better in a K-8 setting than they do in a traditional middle school building. We had a crisis, yes we did, but why waste a crisis? We had a financial crisis, but we moved toward, because of the mission, we moved toward a sound, rigorous academic model. Johns Hopkins University gave us $1.4 million, Jane, you know that. You met with them, so that we could implement the Success for All program. It's a process, it's not a program, because programs come and go. It starts out as a reading process. However, it takes over the entire instructional program. The first 90 minutes of the day, you can hear a pin drop in every K-8 school. Teachers have come to realize, oh my goodness, let's use these strategies throughout the course of the day. That's why it is a whole school transformation model. This slide, Edwina and Kevin, was for the mayor. Because I promised her the week that I came here that those for sale signs would go down. Because the school district of the city of York would do so well, we would do exploits, and homes would be sold. Let me hear a round of applause for that. So kids, healthy and safe. One of the things we did last year, this is a story about last year, was to request that our middle school students wear uniforms. And they do. They wear jeans and a polo. Jeans and a polo. Very easy. Support. We built high expectations. We had Paula Gilbert and Bill Shell from Martin Library to walk through the high school the other day. They were utterly surprised. Teachers stand on the Bearcat in the middle of the hall. It's like a parting of the Red Sea. Students come out and they walk on both sides of the teachers. It is phenomenal. I invite you any day to journey with me to the high school, and you'll see a real understanding of how we support and transition our students. Engaged. Instead of worksheets, why not work with worms? That was the goal. They had to see how did worms respond to hot or cold. That was an interesting lesson. Challenging. Bold goal. One of my assignments was a high school principal of an international baccalaureate school. It was the number 4 school actually in the state. So the goal was to keep it moving. Don't let it drip. Don't let it go down. This was their, what they called the Final 5. All seniors had to have an acceptable GPA, high GPA, acceptable attendance, discipline, service learning. They had to apply for college. When I came here, now mind you, this was from an international baccalaureate school, and you received 2 diplomas on graduation. I shared that with Randy James, high school principal, and he said, we can do that and more. Randy, well, you know this is from an international baccalaureate high school. Oh, we can do that and more. So I think there are 7 goals up there. Last year, the graduating class completed all 7. In order to walk the stage, you had to complete all 7. What do you do with a high school that has never met AYP? You keep watering down the curriculum, keep watering it down, right? No, you raise the bar. You raise the bar and you allow them to leap toward it and give them the tools to get it done. Students have great expectations. They took PSSA last year. They met state standards in the area of math, and they listed in reading by 8 students. They were serious when they did that video. Let's give those students a big round of applause. When you go into our schools, you should see desk, group, and 4s for collaborative learning, collaborative teaching, collaborative learning. Teachers, principals rather, spend 50% of their day in the classrooms. 50%. What happens when the principal is in the classroom 50% of the day? What happens? What do you think happens to the discipline? Goes down, right? So your presence, principals have to have a leadership style that's so significant. When he or she shows up, the kids stand at attention. It has to happen. Principals are in the classrooms, you're shaking your heads, that's why I brought you. Shaking their heads 50% of the day talking about teaching and learning. And they're checking on relationships with students and teachers. See the 3 B's in the corner? That's in failure is not an option. That's one of the things I wrote in this book. The only reason that principals should not be in the classroom is one of 3 B's. Your boss, the boys in blue, who are those? Police, or let's not talk it up, or your boo, your significant or insignificant other. That was so funny, you all. Principals have to wear ugly shoes. Now, I took this picture of a principal one day and he said, you said wear ugly shoes. Those shoes are old. Ugly shoes are shoes that you can wear all day long And you don't have to say, oh, my feet. You have to get mileage. You have to take vitamins at night so when you get up in the morning, you've got energy. Let's go. These shoes are 3-4-inch heels and they are ugly. I can tap dance in these shoes. You have to come prepared. Here it is, folks. Infants professional development. Honoring time. If instruction starts at 8 o'clock, start teaching. Focus on the data. Monitor, inspect what you expect, observe, and confirm. Observe instruction, confirm with teachers, tell them how wonderful they are, or the opposite. Relationships. Here's the secret. School improvement is linked to relationships. If teachers can't get along and they model that for students, students won't get along. It has to be about relationships. See, people produce products. That's student achievement. People produce the pedagogy. That's what people do. One model, and we'll end. One model is the efficacy model. I teach this every morning. In the efficacy model, we have to build confidence. When you build confidence, that gives them the effort and the energy and the desire to learn. Confidence leads to hard work leads to achievement. Great, but if you tamper with confidence, if you tell them, well, you're no good at that, you know, your brother was never good at that, if you bring them low, destroy their confidence, what you're really destroying is their will to work, their effort. No effort, no achievement. This is the efficacy model that we firmly believe in the district. I'm going to get to, there's our parent involvement, there are principals getting their slides, their awards for meeting AYP. Everybody read, our pants and our scores went up. Thank you, Betty Lewis. Our pants and our scores went up. Our discipline and our truancy went down. In 2010-11, the district-wide discipline was up. In 11-12, it went down. And in 12-13, right now, where I stand, don't ask me about tomorrow, but right now, where I stand, we are well below 1,500 incidents in the school district of the city of York. That's a pause for applause. Last year, 2 schools met targets in reading and 5 of 9 schools met targets in math. 8 schools increased student achievement. William Penn met AYP in the area of math for the first time in the history of meeting AYP. Deborah met AYP in math and reading. Ms. Penn. And McKinley not only met AYP, but the only school that, since 2006, received the Keystone Award for exiting school improvement. There's McKinley scores. There's Dolores Penn scores. And we'll close on this one.
This is Deborah's first grade, room 5.
Wow, that doesn't send chills down your spine. For our first graders to understand, know, and believe that their key forward is to get stronger, better, and smarter. Thank you so very much.
Taking a challenge and turning it into an opportunity. Thank you. We'll have you back. Unfortunately, we can't take any questions today. We're out of time. Very impressive.